finance, how transparency there will be, because some of these parties, we don't hear what they spend at the end of the day. We don't even hear the amount that is being marked upon that they will spend during the campaign. We'll talk about this as we continue into today's program. And of course, we're going to look, tell you what the papers are saying. We'll tell you some of the headlines making the rounds in the national dailies. We will first go on this break. When we come back, we will have to start off with the newspaper review segment. We'll be right back.
SUPERDAWN, your daily live current affairs program, where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Well, it's the newspaper review segment, and we want to start off with the Daily Trust. Jonathan reveals at book launch why I lost in 2015. And the writer says, you will rise again. Buhari tells former president, good luck. Jonathan, Gowon Obasanjo, Abdul Salam, Amama, and others speak during the book launch. Well, we'll take some of the stories here, but let's start with the one Jonathan said that why he lost in 2015. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has recounted how his opponent used the Boko Haram insurgency, abduction of the Chibok girls, and fuel subsidy to throw him out of office in 2015. Yes, Precious.
Well, his book launch, which is my transition art, was all over the news yesterday, whether on social media or even on mass media. And everybody was talking about this particular point where he said, he lost the election because of President Obama. I think he mentioned President Obama
in it.
He had a role to play in his losing of, his loss of the election. And a lot of people said, look, that's past, but let's move on. Let's move on to something better. They also point in that book launch where former presidents told him that he has a role to play when it comes to community responsibilities in Nigeria. And I think that's the point. That's where he should be focusing on. He did a lot in terms of ensuring that we have peace. He has more role to play.
Okay, for me, I would say this book is a long-anticipated one, because I could still remember when the former president was still in office, he said something that he's going to write out a book, he's going to publish a book, and the book is going to chronicle his life in office and every other thing that surrounds his defeat and all that. But yeah, we've seen the book, and I'm looking forward to getting my own copy to read through and see what entails in that book. But then again, with what has happened, we all know that is conceding to defeat will, I would say, play a critical role in enjoying the kind of peace that we're having today after the 2015 election and all that. And with what have happened, we do hope that we see such a recurrence even in the 2019 election.
What one can take away from that election is the sportsmanship spirit. We saw the former president displayed that kind of spirit, and I think people should take a cue out of it, where if you're defeated, there's no need to make trouble or to cause chaos. You just move ahead and have a good spirit. You can also be part of that administration that had come to pass, So I think that spirit is good. But moving away from that story, we have this, why I chose Getso as running mate. We also have this in the papers this morning. 20 bandits, 12 JTF members killed in Zamfara. Here, also moving away from that story, APC inaugurates governors-led reconciliation committee today. Finally, from the papers, we have from 2 billion on the PDP, 400 billion now in anti-graft accounts. That's where we'll end this Daily Trust papers this morning. Moving away from Daily Trust.
And starting off now with the Nation newspaper this morning. Jonathan, I was pressed to reject 2015 election result. And then here's the writer here, Okonjo-Iweala Duke Chidoka Dudafa advised me to accept defeat. Okay, I quickly take the story. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has revealed how he was pressured not to accept defeat in the 2015 election, noting that the election was laden with some irregularities, including the difficulty he faced before he could vote in his native Otoke, Bayelsa State home. Jonathan said he considered defeat principally because it was his belief that his ambition should not lead to the loss of lives and property, as it was the case in previous elections. And we've actually talked about this, and from what you said, it's a show of sportsmanship on his part and all that. And he also mentioned some names here that former Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, in person of Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala, and other people advised him not to concede to defeat. So now I'm wondering if he had pressed on and said, okay, he won the election, and then they went to court and all that, what would the outcome have been now?
Well, when you look at this kind of situation in Nigeria, people thought he was not going to accept that. People expected him to fight for it. But I think politics is not a do-or-die affair. If they say you have lost, just move ahead. You can still be part of the government. It doesn't matter. You know, it's not a do-or-die affair. But I like that spirit where he just said, okay, that's okay. Nigerians have spoken and their words remained. I think
it also shows you that when it comes to leadership, ability to make decisions is the most critical thing. Decision making is the most critical part of leadership. And then the kind of people you surround yourself with. Some people said don't concede defeat. Others, people like Okonjo-Iweala, Chidoka and Aduke told him to accept defeat. And if not for the fact that he took that advice, we would, probably to be a different story by now. So it is good for every leader to also surround themselves with people who are able to help them make the very difficult choices when they need to.
No, you can actually make mistakes when you begin to hear from people. Some people will come with sweet mouthing you, trying to please you. You get to an office the first time, they want to please you, but you need to just sit back and think. But I think that's what he did, and that's why you saw the kind of caliber of people that went for that book launch. You know, it wasn't, there was no political divide there. It was a sincere gathering and a support to what they think he did in 2015.
And if you look at it, just that one critical decision that he made gave him more honor when he left office than when he was even in office.
Certainly.
People love and respect him more now, even when now that he's out of office.
Yeah, I do hope that some other political leaders are watching and also emulate a thing or two from the decision of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as regards the forthcoming 2019 election. And still on the Nation newspaper this morning, Fashola, while Southwest will re-elect Buhari, you have details on page 7. Police death toll in Ekiti, bank robbery rises to 3. Page 5 has details of that. In 2019, Fasomi to convene Yoruba leaders meeting. Cranes holds timid eagles. Oyo pays September-October salaries. You have details these on page 10, 47 and page 10, 47 and also page 10. And finally on the Nation newspaper this morning, restructuring possible without constitution amendment, and that's coming from a legal practitioner, Dr. Lisa Agbakuba. And that does it for me on the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, now moving on to the front page of the Daily Independent. The major headline here reads, Boko Haram attacks leave commander, 53 soldiers dead, 9 farmers killed. Just to take a bit of that report, it says the Islamic State in West Africa, ISWA, a faction of the Boko Haram insurgents, has killed 53 soldiers and farmers in 3 days of attacks in Borno State, according to military sources, reports AFP. The insurgents overran a Nigerian army battalion in Borno on Sunday, killing the unit's commander also. A large cache of arms, ammunition, and military equipment were also said to have been carted away by insurgents during the attack on 157 Task Force Battalion in Metele Abadan local government area, Borno, at about 6 p.m. You know, it's often said that Boko Haram has been technically defeated, and you know, so far we have not had this kind of attacks from Boko Haram. But now there is a report that 53 soldiers were killed and 9 farmers were also killed. And in a country where we say, you know, there is, I mean, reported recently that we have a new terrorist group also rising. We really need to ensure that, you know, we deal with issues around insecurity. It's very pertinent.
Well, when we talk about terrorism, it's something that we don't have to just fold our hands. If we say they're technically defeated, these guys they've regrouped themselves and now they're attacking soldiers directly, not even kidnapping people. Right now, they are facing this, the military. And I think this is the area where we mustn't just allow this continue. These are people's parents, their fathers, and someone's husband, and they need protection as well. But maybe we need to get other international bodies to help us out with this fight. I don't think with this latest attack, I don't think they are ready to stop. I think we need to just fight on headlong.
Insecurity in Nigeria, it's not something that started yesterday and all that. It's a continuous war and all that. And if you look at it now, it's not a one-on-one battle and all that. But as it is right now, it shows that this terrorist group has re-strategized, and they've come up with a new means and ways to launch out at their victims and all that. But what it is right now is for whosoever will be coming over to take over the arms of leadership in this country to see insecurity as a key issue to be able to tackle with and all that. And I won't say our army are not doing enough. They are really trying their best to ensure that they really combat these people head on. Because if you look at the reports we'll be getting recently, it shows that they are winning this war, but it is a continuous battle, and we do hope that they also go back, re-strategize, put some mechanisms in order to see how they can defeat these people.
All right, now moving away from that report, 2019 election, not a declaration of war. And that's coming from the president, Buhari, says Jonathan, a true Democrat. Vote buying, a national malady, says Jonathan. Former president saved Nigerian from war, and that's coming from Gowon. He must take more community responsibilities, and that's coming from OBJ. That report begins on the front page of the Daily Independent and continues on page 5. Still on the front page, APC crisis. Tinubu regains control of Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti. May spread tentacles to Kogi, Kwara. That report says as Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, a national leader of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, is gradually regaining his lost territories in the southwest with support from Comrade Adams Oshomole, the embattled national chairman of the party's Daily Independent gathered. A member of the party's National Working Committee, NWC, who spoke with Daily Independent's correspondent on condition of anonymity, said one of Oshomole's major assignments since assuming office is to put some states in the southwest that were hitherto out of Tinubu's control under his command. You know, we took a report like this yesterday where, you know, we saw that the APC Reconciliation Committee, which was headed by Tinubu, has said that, look, there was injustice in all of the APC primaries across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and they were moving to reconcile, you know, aggrieved members, and now they have been able to gain control of Ogun State, Ondo, and Ekiti, and they are moving to get control of Kogi and Kwara State. This might mean, of course, for 2019 elections, this was one of the things that people were saying about them, that look, if you don't put your house in order, it might cost you the election. But they're actually moving to put their house in order. Right,
but you might not like Senator Ahmed Tinubu, but it's a very strong personality when it comes to the ruling party. You might not like his face or his style, but I think he has a grasp over that party, and he's been respected in that party. When he stepped in, remember the first time they had issues, when he stepped in, those matters were really resolved, and now there are issues in the Southwest and the rest, and now it's looking as if he's now in control of the matter. Well, he's a very strong person.
I would say this is coming at the right time, because if you've not put your house in order a few months to election, it just shows a strong signal that you guys are not ready for the election, or better still, giving your opponents the advantage or an edge to win the forthcoming election and all that. But as it is right now, the national leader of the party, in person of Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, coming up together and setting up a reconciliatory committee to ensure that all aggrieved members of the party come together under one roof, under one table, and discuss issues that is pertinent for them, and also moving the party forward, and also in preparation for the 2019 election. It's a welcome development for me. I would do hope that the outcome brings the party together and see how they can, work towards the 2019 credible election. All right.
This says here, plans to impeach Saraki still alive, and that's coming from Dume. That's on page 4. And finally, Bauchi government imposes curfew on 5 communities. Details on page 5, and that's all for the front page of the Daily Independent.
Okay, moving away from the Daily Independent, we just get the headlines in the New Telegraph, and it says, Jonathan, Chibok girls kidnapped, subsidy used against me in 2015. We also have in the papers this morning, Agbakoba, consensus presidential candidates will emerge in January. DMO oil marketers hold critical meetings on refund. And finally, from the New Telegraph, we have, I won't withdraw case against APC. Nwosu tells Oshomole. This is where we'll come to an end, this segment, the newspaper review segment. We will go on this break now, and when we come back, we want to look at transparency in campaign finances in Nigeria. We'll be right back.